Bills Mafia, imagine this with me. It's week 1. We're under the lights. It's bright. Your Buffalo Bills are just stepping onto the field at Highmark for one last season opener at the old field, and they're playing against the Baltimore Ravens, the former team that we beat last year at home in the playoffs, in the divisional round. You'd think the energy would be hype. You'd think the fireworks would be going off. The national TV would be bringing all the spotlight. But for some reason, right now, you scroll through X, you see it, the doom and the gloom, the injuries to Dwayne Carter, Maxwell Hairston, Trey White, and even just the shadows of this team not being as strong as we want them to be. It's just a fan base right now that is absolutely embracing for heartache, and many in the Bills Mafia are just thinking that disappointment is coming week 1 at home. But here, fans, is the flip side. It's from one fan to another. This is not just another week 1 game. This is a chance for the Bills Mafia to step up. This is a chance for the Buffalo Bills in 2025 to set the stage for something much bigger, a confidence boost in the entire franchise, a confidence boost in the fan base going into the 2025 playoff hunt. And again, don't forget, less than a year ago, we played this team at home and we beat them, even with injuries piled up. And even though the defense wasn't playing as exceptionally in the AFC Championship or in the divisional round, we still punched our ticket to the AFC Championship. And now, under those same lights, for some reason, the Bills Mafia is tired and heavy and doomy and gloomy. This game is going to be a game that the Buffalo Bills regain confidence in themselves, but ultimately in us as a fan base, so that we're ready to cheer on this team week in and week out, no matter what. And today, I just want to help build some confidence into you as a result of that. I'm just looking ahead at this game. I'm looking ahead at matchups, and this week we've got a bunch of content coming out that's going to highlight those. But this is Crack the Table. I'm Colin. We are all Bills and no breaks. But today, I want to get right into this, and I want to talk about Baltimore. We've been talking for the last month about our injuries, about our fears, about our worries, about some of our top players not being able to play, or some of our players underperforming. But hey, guess what? The Ravens are dealing with it too. Jair Alexander has had knee concerns, and he hasn't practiced since August 9th. That sounds very, very similar to Maxwell Hairston, by the way. Even if he suits up, he's going to be rusty. He might play against Keon Coleman. He might play against Josh Palmer. We'll see if he plays, if he lines up. But again, this is a year and this is a time for a guy like Keon Coleman to show the world, but especially us Bills Mafia, why Brandon Beane picked him when he was. Okay, Alexander might be Jair Alexander might be a superstar. He might play, but rust is going to be there, right? We are going to have an elite offense playing at an elite level, and Allen is going to bring his cannon. Coleman's going to bring his size, and this is a moment for the wide receiver one, the true wide receiver one on our team, to show out and to show that he is worth the pick that we paid for him. But Isaiah Likely is another guy who's hurt. We had to deal with him last year, right? He's a tight end who was supposed to be Baltimore's X factor in their 2 tight end sets with Mark Andrews, and we all know what happened at the end of the game last year in the divisional round. But no IR designation for Isaiah Likely, which means he might be ready, but he's proving to not be up to full strength, and that matters. Again, Likely's game depends on his explosiveness up the seam. If he can't be explosive, he's not going to be a threat to our linebackers and our safeties. Again, whether it would be Milano, whether it would be Terrell Bernard, whether it be Cole Bishop fighting against him or playing against him, we don't know. But again, we want a guy like Terrell Bernard probably locked in specifically on Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. But here's the spin. Isaiah Likely's injury probably takes away Baltimore's versatility, and it probably closes their playbook a little bit. Buffalo's linebackers can smother him or smother the offense early as a result of having one less elite option for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense to use. It will turn Baltimore's offense into a little bit less multi-dimensional, which will be helpful. But the other one, and I've seen comments on this page already, or on this channel already, of people saying DeAndre Hopkins is their worry going into week one. He might be, but he's a 33-year-old veteran. Yeah, he still has great hands, but he's had knee issues. You know what happens when you have knee issues? Your lateral agility suffers. His knee has had a flare-up in August here, and it's just another reminder that age and mileage are a real thing in the NFL. This is not 2018 DeAndre Hopkins playing for the Houston Texans anymore. That puts him in the wheelhouse of maybe Tre'Davious White, and so maybe that matchup will be actually okay. It'll be a wash, right? Hopkins has to rely on his positioning in contested catches probably to do anything in this game. And again, like a savvy cornerback, even coming off his own injury like White, I think that's a tough sell. Again, Hopkins' presence is a big name. He's a wide receiver that dominated for a long time in the NFL, but it just, with a knee injury coming into this season, we just don't know what we're going to see. The bottom line of all of this, Buffalo isn't the only team going into this game with injuries. The Ravens have key pieces more than even just I've expressed, just like we do. They're all questionable, right? But here's the kicker. Even when Baltimore was healthy last year and Buffalo's defense forced 3 turnovers, Rapp's interception, Bernard's strip, and Von Miller's recovery, that's proof that even with injuries, we can still make plays happen, right? The defense knows how to pounce even when our starters aren't 100%. But I want to talk about another thing here, and it goes back to our offense. It goes back to Josh Allen. He is the great equalizer of all things. He gives us so much margin to play with. Every conversation for our team starts at the head with our captain, Josh Allen, number 17. He had 44 touchdowns last year. He's not just Buffalo's quarterback. He's the most dangerous weapon in the entire NFL. And against Baltimore last season, he wasn't perfect. Let's just be frank. But in the game that mattered most, he did deliver. And in that playoff game, he didn't need 300 yards. He didn't need 1,000 combined yards to beat the Ravens. He ran for 2 touchdowns, had 0 turnovers, and he made the difference in the red zone. Again, while Ravens fans are worried maybe about how Josh Allen will outplay a guy like Kyle Hamilton and maybe some of the other guys, maybe Deion Dawkins will really match up well with Madubuike. The Buffalo fans need to remember they've got the best player in the entire NFL on the field, and that changes everything. Not to mention that, but our offensive line is going to provide elite protection. Not only is our line a top 3 unit in the NFL, but it has depth behind it so that we can maximize jumbo packages. We can maximize 12 personnel with Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, who are now fully healthy going into this season. Again, the statement that the Buffalo Bills have a weak O-line is an outdated statement. Especially after week 11 last year. They only had 1 sack per game starting last year in week 11, right? Deion Dawkins is a Pro Bowl player who's going to probably play like an All-Pro. O'Cyrus Torrence is emerging as an elite force. And this group doesn't just protect Josh Allen, they open lanes for James Cook, who quietly was averaging more than 5 yards per carry late in 2024. Again, Baltimore's pass rush is really good. It's ferocious even. But the Buffalo Bills O-line can handle it. It's built with depth and strength. And if they hold strong, it's a confidence boost that ultimately will echo further and further into the game and into this season. But I want to talk about one last thing here, and it's confidence coming from the moment and the opportunity. We as Bills Mafia have the opportunity to show up to the game and be not only just be loud, but to absolutely be disruptive. When the opposing team comes in, what's the tailgate looking like? Is it a cheap, we've got our tail between our legs kind of thing? But we need to never underestimate the power of home field advantage under the lights at Highmark Stadium, Sunday Night Football. This isn't just a game in Buffalo. This is a gladiator pit where we get to show that we are one of the toughest, meanest, grittiest, most dangerous teams in the NFL who have not only playoff aspirations, but Super Bowl. We are in the Super Bowl hunt, right? Crowd noise makes communication hard for the offense of the other team. Go insane if you're going to the game. Energy feeds the defense, and national televised games like this create just massive chaos for the opposing offense. Chants, roars. We need to send a message not only to the Baltimore Ravens, but to every team in the NFL. If they come into our home field, they are in for a whooping. But hey, in the playoffs, Highmark wasn't just loud. It literally rattled all the way to Baltimore. We can do that again. We can bring the noise and it will change the game. We can do it again on Sunday night. Make sure if you're going to that game that you are loud, that you are ready. But again, this game matters more than just a 1-0 on the stat sheet. It's not just about ending the day with a win, but it's about proving to ourselves, our franchise, our fan base, that we are still elite, that we can still push and win big games in big moments. Coming off the playoff loss last year after a couple of years of just consistent failure, we are feeling it. But this game is going to reset the mood for our fan base. We need to move from doom to swagger. We need to send a shockwave across the NFL that Allen is still Allen, that Lamar doesn't really matter that much, that our own line is going to win against any D line, and that our players have come to play, even if on the stat sheet or even if on paper they don't even have the best names or they're not even the flashiest players, right? Belief in this team will build strength and confidence in it, and they will perform. We've just got to support them along the way. Last year, again in January, the 27-25 playoff win flipped out into confidence, proving that Buffalo could beat Baltimore and that we could take the run further. We can bring that same energy into this game this weekend, Sunday Night Football at Highmark Stadium. But yes, there's injuries. Yes, they're piling up. But this game has a chance to flip the doom and gloom in our fan base right now. And the Ravens, they are banged up just like we are. The Bills are at home. Josh Allen is locked in. And the Mafia, you better be ready to roar. A win doesn't just move Buffalo to 1-0. It changes the entire vibe. It gives the team swagger and energy and motivation in this next stretch of the season. It gives a warning to the rest of the NFL that Buffalo isn't dead. Buffalo is dangerous. The truth is, the Bills don't just need a win. They're going to earn this win, and they're going to dominate in this win. The confidence boost that we need as a franchise, that we need as a team, is to allow the Ravens to come in and to leave with the tail between their legs. We are going to win this game, and we better be pumped and excited and cheering on our team day in and day out. But hey, this has been Crack the Table. My name's Colin. We're all Bills, no breaks. Tomorrow we will be coming out with even another video on the matchup that we have with the Ravens. But hey, if you have not liked and subscribed and joined our community yet, every single day we're adding new people. We're having comments and connections, conversations in the chat below. I just invite you to be part of that. This is going to be an awesome season. We're just getting right into it, and we're so excited. Peace out. Have a good night.